Hello, everybody. This is Sam from Cattler, and I'm here to share with you some of our newest updates that were released earlier this week. I will walk you through each of the updates and also explain how they work, and so you can start trying them out on your own. So yeah, let's start. I'm gonna start sharing my screen here. Okay. Okay. So before we start, I'd like to also let you know that all of these updates are going to be listed down in the description. So you can always go back to it whenever you want to. And yeah, so one of the newest additions that we just added to the app is this forgot password button over here on the login screen. So basically, if you forget your password, you won't have to reach out to us again and have us reset the password for you. What you can do is you can just select this, enter your username, your email, and then sorry, and then you will get your reset password link directly on your email. I'm gonna switch my screen now. Share. Okay. So the next few updates are basically updates on our layout of the dashboard. One of them being our feed consumption tab here. Um, Under feed consumption, we added these two components, the SFED and dry matter. So these would basically allow you to be able to keep track of how much your cattle are eating, both in tons as well as in pounds. Next up, under cattle metrics, we also added these two components, which is the average weight and the mortality rate. So please also keep in mind that these numbers, both average and the mortality, is representation of the whole feed yard. And then the next one is this tab right here, the commodity prices. This is a new tab that we had just recently added. It's still in the works, but basically this will display the market prices of your feed so that you can stay updated and follow the market prices. Okay, so moving on to the next section, I'm gonna go to the cattle management section here. So the first one is cattle in. So as many of you have requested, we have also added the possibility of adding your cattle cost and source over here, right when you bring them into the feed yard, into the system here. So we used to it used to work where you have to kind of enter the your lot overview and then go to the entries, and then that's where you can input these numbers. But now these added features here are basically to simplify the process of entering your cattle information. Oh, and one more thing over here. So in a few days from now, we will also be adding the possibility of using letters as your lot number, because many of you asked us for this. And so we are releasing it in a few days. So you'd be able to, for example, instead of 555-556, you'd be able to say 55556A or B. So yeah. The next update would be over here under sublot details. So we added this little pencil here where you can edit the average weight over your sublot, and you can also now backdate the weight. So for example, if I set a date for my sublot here, for example, 10 of May, okay, and then I set it at 600 pounds. Basically, the system will think that from this day on, my cattle weight would be 600 pounds. That's and then over here, this plan tab right here, this is the growth plan. This is also a new tab that's also been requested by some of you. This growth plan section here allows you to set a growth target for your lot. So basically, whatever you set in here will be your target, and then you can compare this values to the actual gains that you are making on your cattle. So basically, it allows you to make better decision in the future when, for example, in buying cattle, or selecting your rations. And then also, this is a new tab. This is the entries tab over here, where you can edit your breed, your class, your weight. This is another highly requested feature, which is being able to edit your cattle entries. So, for example, if I just hit this pencil button over here, it'll give me this pop-up. And then you can basically edit your breed, class, the weight of the cattle, the average cost, as well as your source. And then the next one under expenses here, moving on to this. So, 1 second there you go. So you can also now edit your expenses and have the option to save and continue when editing. So this means that you won't have to look for it again under the expenses list there if you're not done with making the changes. So for example, if I'm switching this, if I'm making changes here, for example, I'm adding it into 10 heads and $4. And if I hit confirm and continue, select sublot. There you go. It changed my values and I'm still kept in this page over here. So it doesn't leave the page. So I can continue making the changes on that. And I believe those are the main updates that we have on the cattle management side. So let's move on to the feeding side. So the biggest update that we have on the feeding side is delivery plan on your mobile version. So we just came out with that delivery plan section on your phone, which means that you are now able to make any changes on your delivery plans from your phone. And this will actually make it much easier for you when you need to make big changes on your orders, but you don't have your iPad or computer right in front of you. So what you can do is you can just log into your phone and make the changes over there. And then also another update that we have is under here, load and drop order. So if you see this little pencils here right next to the order numbers, you can now edit these numbers. So for example, say 2. So this allows you to be able to change your order numbers according to how you feed every day. So it used to be automated when you create a load and drop order, but now we allow you to make the changes on this. Moving on to the next update, which is under the Bunkscore section here. So we have allowed null as a score. So you can set this null value when you're making scores now. So if you just want to make the changes on your feed and you don't want to include any scores, now you are able to do that. That's one of the new updates as well. And then moving on to the Feedyard infrastructure here under settings. So this update is basically to avoid duplicate pen names. There was a case where you could name 2 different pens with the same name, and that created some confusions on the app. And so we decided to disable that. So if you try to do this, For example, I have this pen here, name hold, and then for example, I want to name this pen also hold. The system doesn't allow me to do that. So there you go. So that's one of the new updates. And then under users and roles, we have also created a new client user system. So for example, you're inviting a user here, you can select that client as an internal or client. If they have a client status here, this means that they will only have access to their information only in this Feedyard, and that's going to be based on the cattle owner. So for example, this client is Ryan, for example. So when Ryan logs into the account with this credentials here, he will only be able to look at his the cattle that he owns in this Feedyard, in my Feedyard. Okay. So I believe these are most of the main updates that we have on Cattler that we just released a few days ago. I'm gonna stop sharing here. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you all taking the time to watch the video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any feedbacks on how we can further improve our app, you know how to reach us, and please reach out to us. And yeah, almost everything that you saw on here on the app are requested by you. So we are always open and always very appreciative of any type of feedbacks. And yeah, so that is all. I don't have anything else. So thank you very much.